All right, everyone. So Ron Breaker spoke out on the idea of him being part of a faction. We're reading an article from Inside the Ropes. Braun Breaker has not ruled out a future alliance with his father or uncle, but it won't be happening anytime soon. As many fans are aware, the Rising Star is the son and nephew of Rick and Scott Steiner, respectively, known as one of the greatest tag teams of all time, along with Scott's promos in TNA that will live on for decades to come. There have been frequent calls for Breaker to officially acknowledge his lineage on screen. However, while the option may be there, Breaker has bigger priorities at this time. Speaking on the Masked Man show, Breaker stated that he is more concerned about making a name for himself as an individual as opposed to being known as a Steiner, adding that it may be an option in the future. So here's what he said. I think for now I'm kind of establishing myself and kind of going my own way. I think down the line, yeah, we have that. We have that as an option to do if we need it one day, to where we can get my dad and uncle involved in some form or fashion. So that's always there. All right. So, it's tough to blame Braun Breaker for being like, listen, I want to create my own name. I don't want everything to be, you know, everything to be about the Steiners, or that. I don't want that to be the only reason that I'm really, in the WWE and that I'm successful. But I will say, if you watch what Braun Breaker's done over the past few months, wouldn't it be awesome to have him with these Steiner? I mean, I'm telling you, this has to happen at some point. I understand completely he might not want it to happen now, but this has to happen at some point. Imagine just these guys just taking over the WWE. Obviously it's not going to be the bloodline, but in like similar to that, like this just really, and you don't even need to put titles on them. Just like what Braun Breaker's doing now, except it's with the Steiner, Rick and Scott Steiner kind of in his corner as managers. I just think that'd be so cool. I just think that'd be so cool. Hearing Scott Steiner's, music when he comes in, the little what is it, like the siren, that would be awesome. And I'm loving this Braun Breaker character. I mean, he really is just destroying people, and the crowd is getting into it, right? He's actually getting to a point now where it's one of those things where people don't know if he's a heel or a baby face. Like, he was beating up Sami Zayn on Raw, and people were like, they were cheering for it a little bit. They were not happy, but they were happy. Like, this is a perfect spot for Braun Breaker to be, because that's such a good spot to be, especially when you're his type of character. So we'll see what ends up happening here, but I think the future is certainly bright for Braun Breaker. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next.